going on, everybody? It's Brian here with another review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the game Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. It is the spiritual successor to Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and this game was made by the famous Koji Igarashi. And for those who don't know, this game, once again, I mean, the title of the game sounds just like the title of the game that it was based off of. Just replace Bloodstained with Castlevania and Ritual of the Night with Symphony of the Night. And there you have it. Believe it or not, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a 22-year-old game. Came out in 1997 on the PlayStation 1. That's right, that's how old the game is. And Koji Igarashi was responsible for being the co-director of that game. And this game was kickstarted back in the Kickstarter was started back in 2015, and he was able to make this game with over $5 million that was donated to fund this game. The game has you playing as character Miriam, who happens to be a shard binder, rather. And is able to gain powers by defeating the demons in the game. As you'll see through the gameplay here, when you defeat certain demons in the game, you are able to collect their shards, and you will gain various powers based off the demons that you defeat. Now, unlike other games that have tried to be somewhat of a Metroidvania-style game, which Castlevania is partially known for that, for being probably one of the last good games that are like that. You had games that have tried to be like that, such as Hollow Knight and Dead Cells, whereas Dead Cells is more of a roguelike game. Hollow Knight tried to be a little bit more like Dark Souls in a way, trying to be a little difficult. This, though, is purely for those who loved Castlevania Symphony of the Night, because this is really an RPG. You level up, you gain equipment, you get better swords, better skills, armor, things of that nature. You do walk around in a huge map. And surprisingly, there are a lot of aspects where this game is maybe a little too similar to Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Like, I get that Igarashi wanted to make a game that was a spiritual successor to that game, and believe me, I'm a big fan of nostalgia, but I don't want too much nostalgia in a game. I don't want to be playing the exact same game, and I'm not saying that this is like 100% the same as Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but for those that play this game, you're going to get that similar feeling and that similar style here. Now, the graphics are completely beautiful. This does very well in 4K on Xbox One X. This game is available on the PlayStation 4 as well as the Nintendo Switch, with the Nintendo Switch being the lesser of the three graphically wise. Now, there are boss fights in this game. There are, as you can see, the gameplay plays. It's just like playing Symphony of the Night. I mean, I thought it was really ironic when I saw the title of this game. I just was thinking, are we getting a female version of Castlevania? Not that anything's wrong with that, because there's not anything wrong with that at all. However, is this game a good game? Well, yes, it absolutely is, because there really has not been, since 1997, any game that has come remotely close, in my opinion, to being anything similar to Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I mean, this is pretty much 100% similar for the most part. You're breaking lanterns, as you see here, to get collectibles and coins and things like that. You can purchase potions to heal yourself. As you can see in the top left corner, you've got a health bar, and then you've got a bar where when you use your shards. There are even rooms like this one where you go to save your game. There's also other rooms where you can go and warp and fast travel between different locations on the map. There's just so many insane similarities to this game that it felt good to play another game like Symphony of the Night, because let's face it, that's probably, for those who have played that game, everyone's favorite Castlevania, because no other Castlevania since has really come close to it. I mean, we've had some other Castlevania games, like some that have came out for the 3DS and etc., but none have dared to come close to Symphony of the Night, and this one is pretty much going to be your best bet if you're looking for a game to savor those taste buds from Symphony of the Night. Now, you do play as Miriam. She is a shard binder, and you are on the hunt for your counterpart, Jeeble, who is also the only other shard binder remaining. And the two of you gain abilities by killing demons and collecting their shards. As you can see there in the menu a little bit, there is a menu where you can you do gather different shards from demons. When you already have a shard from that particular demon and you kill more of that same demon, you have the chance to gain another shard. And the more shards you gain, the higher your shard power from that particular demon levels up. So there is a power called True Arrow, for instance, and when you kill the demon that you gained that power from, and you continue to kill that demon throughout the game, and if you get more shards from that demon, you will in turn level, or in this game, rank up that particular shard. And as you can see here, as I'm kind of going through the menus quickly, you can change your equipment. Like I just got a claymore there. You have two-handed weapons, one-handed weapons. You even have like blunderbusses and things like that in here, like guns with different types of ammo, which I thought was pretty interesting. You also have familiars, just like you had in Symphony of the Night. You can have bats be your familiar that will attack other demons. Many different creatures in this game that will help you along the way. As you're seeing here, this is more of the first part of the game in this giant ship you start off with that kind of teaches you the basics of the game. Of course, just like other Metroidvania games, there's going to be places you can't access right away without gaining certain upgrades like that you will get from defeating bosses. I will say that the biggest most disappointing thing about this game was when it was released. The game was released and there was supposed to be a patch that came out for it, and unfortunately the patch caused those that had been playing the game to have a glitch where they would not be able to open chests that contained key items such as the Silver Promenade, for instance, which you open by defeating a certain boss. It's a chest that you can get and open after defeating a certain boss. And unfortunately, this happened to me. So I'm going to have to start my this game entirely over again. So no, I'm reviewing this having not finished the game. I did get about 6 hours into it, so I feel like that was enough for me to be able to talk about it and really give an honest opinion about it. This game is absolutely fun. I highly recommend it. There are different characters you can play as throughout the game. I never made it that far, but I did see that in some other reviews I read that there are other characters you can play as besides Miriam. Yes, you do go into a castle just like the other game. You know what I'm talking about? Just like the other castle, the Castlevania game, Symphony of the Night. And there's just so many different things to unlock, so many different gear. There's also a crafting system in this game where you can craft your own weapons, you can craft your own armor, potions, things of that nature. There are food recipes you can make from the various types of food you can get in this game, and those will unlock recipes that gives you different buffs and stats and things of that nature. So all in all, Symphony of the Night, Symphony of the Night, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. See how easy it is to get those two confused because they sound exactly the same almost. Bloodstained is an amazing game. It does just about everything right. I mean, I really didn't find anything wrong gameplay-wise other than that glitch, but gameplay-wise, this game hits the nail on the head. There's no other game out there that has come remotely close to being a copy or spiritual successor or whatever to Symphony of the Night. This is it. So for those of you who love Symphony of the Night and are looking for a game or have been waiting for 20 plus years for a game to come out that's going to be remotely close to Symphony of Night, then here it is. This is going to be the game for you. You can pick this up right now for the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox One, and the PlayStation 4. Just make sure the game is patched before you start playing it, because you're going to encounter that glitch like I did. If I had to give this game a review, I mean, the music is great, the graphics are beautiful, the levels are all individually just very beautifully well done. The enemies are not too difficult. I mean, yeah, some of the bosses are gonna present a challenge, and you're gonna have to just make sure you are smarter than that to be able to get into areas and fight. Make sure you have good equipment. But I would have to give this game a 9 out of 10, because it's not Symphony of the Night. That's the only reason why I cannot give this game a 10 out of 10, because it's not Symphony of the Night. It's about as close as it's gonna get. I'd say actually a 9.5 out of 10. But anyway, thanks for watching my review of Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night. Go pick this game up. It's really not that expensive. It is a very beautifully done game. Hopefully we can get Igar to do a real one. Until next time, see ya!